Perfect. Yep, I think we are live now. Taco, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad, man. Good to have you. Good to have you. I was worried that maybe you're not going to turn up.
I would have missed it for the day.
Awesome, man. No, thank you. Thank you for coming through. I was looking forward to this day from the day that I've spoken to you, and it's quite interesting. And I'm actually excited right now that you've managed to make it through. Well, well, today is going to be a very candid discussion. We just need to know a little bit more about Taku Mugaviri, what you do, what you're doing currently, and also just to know a little bit more about you. Currently, you've been in the news a lot, a lot. You've been in almost every single newspaper that I know. The big ones, the small ones, the middle ones. Um, you've been in a lot of these newspapers, and I think it's to do with the new book that you've just recently published, which is
Mhm.
which is a bestseller as we speak. Am I correct to say that?
Yeah, you are. You are.
Fantastic, man. How
The
does
book
it
is
feel?
actually doing quite well.
Yeah, how does it feel? How does it feel to have a book
Oh,
that's doing pretty well?
it's it's kind of a weird feeling. It's the first time you're being recognized. Like the whole nation knows about you and what you're doing. So yeah, it's a very good feeling. And what's most interesting is the feedback that you've been getting when people are saying that we're really inspired by this, and they look at your age and they're like, "Wow, what you're writing is very inspirational. I think we all have to do this." Some guys are like, "Yeah, the next time we're seeing you, man, you're at the State House." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going there."
I like that. Are you aspiring to become a leader, a president, or some sort some other time?
Well, hey, that one is a tricky one, but then leadership is in me. So yeah, we'll see where the Lord takes us.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, before we actually dive into this, we just wanted to have a little bit of an introduction of who you really are. Who is Taku Mugaviri? Can you just maybe
Okay.
give us a little bit of a brief about yourself?
Well, the famous information about Taku is a medical dropout who is now an author. That's what many people think. And well, it's true, but then there is a lot more to that than just medical dropout to author.
Okay,
So
okay.
basically, I enjoy a lot of things. Since my high school, I had been featuring in a lot of things. But then there was this one statement that always came to me. People say Jacob all trades, master of none. So
Mhm.
it became like a shadow. How am I going to come out of this shadow? Because everything that I put my mind to, I end up being able to do it. I started painting last year, and I'm well, I can say a perfect artist, but then I do pretty well with art. So
That's good.
I,
That's
I
good to
would
hear.
I would say I would say I'm someone who enjoy learning new things almost at all times. That's why I ended up having multiple skills. Yeah, and I've had a chance to work with one of the fastest growing company, which is called MNJ. So I had a lot
Wow.
from the experience there. So currently I am at a company called Revit, where I'm doing marketing and marketing strategies, sales
Mhm.
trainings, and entrepreneurial systems. That is Taku, and I'm an author of a book called Back to the Drawing Board. The history is quite interesting, but yeah, that is me.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a pepped introduction. It seemed to be like you are really a jack of all trades, and I quite like that. Well, you're quite skillful in various areas, of which is something that is quite uncommon, especially in these day youths or youths of these days. I should say. People don't like to be addressed as such, so I say it with my tongue in my mouth.
I know, right?
But it's one of them things, and I really appreciate the fact that you don't want to be addressed as not don't want to be addressed as a medical dropout. There is quite a lot of other things that Taku knows, and Taku is skilled in various areas, which you've just shared with us, and I didn't know all that. So it is always good to sort of disclose some of your many skills, and so that people would actually know you and address you as such. which is fantastic. So now
Oh, it's
you've
interesting.
been talking about painting. What kind of painting do you do?
All right, I've done a little bit of abstract, and I've done animal painting, like wildlife. I think I'll,
Mm.
I'll sing you one of the lines that I did last year, November, and that is most paintings that I do. And I also do like illustrations, but
Okay.
of being portraits, portrait
Oh,
illustrations. Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
really?
So those are the ones that I usually do.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome because I like art. I used to draw a lot when I was younger.
Oh,
Um, I was the
wow.
best drawer, I should say. I'm not trying to give myself a bit of, but to be honest, I think I
We
was
want to see your work, man. We want to see your work.
I was very good. I was very good at drawing. But it's something that I've passed on to my nephews and my nieces. Right now, each and every single time when it's
Wow.
a family gathering,
Hmm.
they'll be saying, Wakatodza Bamnini, Bamnini, Bamnini was good at this when he was growing up. But it didn't amount to anything for me. But for them, I can actually see myself, in them and in the pieces of art that they
Wow.
do. So it's something that is quite interesting to note that you also do act. Next week, I think it is on Monday. I'll be speaking to
Mhm.
Josh Apps.
Oh,
You know, right?
no, I don't know much about her.
He's an abstract expressionist. He's a proper. He knows his abstract art. So we'll be
Oh, wow.
showcasing him on Monday, and also maybe we'll be showing some of his pieces as well, maybe throughout the week, for you guys to sort of have a look at them, and maybe hopefully somebody is gonna buy a piece or two by the time that we get to the discussion. So yeah, it's something that is quite interesting, to be honest. That there's a new breed of artists that are coming up in Zimbabwe, and abstract painters.
I'll be
Um,
looking forward to seeing those.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So yeah, I understand. And can you tell us a little bit more about your medical dropout thing? Because that is something of interest. I've got a niece who recently graduated at the age of 23, recently, and we are celebrating her being a
Uh,
medical doctor. But now you tell us about your journey and how it happened that you dropped out from medical school.
okay. Well, it's actually a funny story because
Mm,
when I finished my A level, I got a choice to either to continue and not or not to continue. So I told my parents that I don't think I want to go to university. I just want to do other things and continue entrepreneurship and stuff because we owned a butchery at that time. So I wanted to expand the business and make things that bring me money. So I went to see this doctor. Yeah, I've always wanted to be a doctor or an engineer, either of the two. I didn't have one that I really wanted. So we went to see this other doctor, family doctor, Dr. Charai, and he was like, you have to go there. You need to build yourself a name so that people will know you when you say things. Because what I was telling them, my passion was to be able to change things from where I stay. If you tell them that we need to fix this road, they have to fix it. If you tell them that
mm,
the shopping center has to change this and that, we have to change it. I was looking at the type of buildings that we're building and that are being officially opened. They're not standard buildings for the 21st century. So
true.
that was the thing that I was telling the doctor. Yeah, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, so if you just knock at the office at the council and you're like, hi, my name is Taku, and I have some ideas I want to share with you. Do you think they're gonna accept you just like that?" So those guys sold me out. So I'm like, okay, fine, I will be going to medical school. At least when they say Dr. Taku is at the door, they'll have time for Taku. So I went for medical school in China. And I did the first 2 years quite well. When we were about
Mhm.
to go to the third year, there were some changes at home. So I had to come back because of some certain financial instabilities. So I
Yeah.
came back home. And then before I came, COVID hit. So I had to stay a little bit. And
Mm.
during the time I was staying, there was no school. There was nothing. So it was just us, the internet, and home until they introduced online learning a bit later on because they were
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. Yeah, since it was unplanned for.
Yeah.
So during that time, that's when I had a one-on-one time with myself, where I had to actually see where my life is going, how do I really want to be recognized, and all the things, and what do I really want to achieve by the time that I'm dead. What do they know about me? What will the world know about me?
Right. Okay.
That's where the light sparked. So I came back home. I started working on that, working on it, an idea that had come to me before I went to medical school. And that's how I finally dropped out of med school.
Wow. Wow. So you've been in China for almost about 2 years, and then you decided to call it quits. But some of the issues are nothing to do with really financial issues. It's to do with the idea that you had before you even went to medical school. You had to sort of revisit those ideas and try to sort of to try and find your purpose in life. And you found out that it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really part of the purpose for you to become a medical doctor. You were meant to be doing something totally different. So this is all
You
about
see, the
trying to
world
sort
has
of,
become so busy.
yeah, very busy,
The
extremely
world
busy.
has
I
become
agree
so
with
busy. So it's
you.
easy to get carried away with something else.
That's very true, and I agree totally with you, because this is something that I've actually realized, especially with the young guys like yourselves. I've realized that during our time when we were growing up, I don't want to sound as if I'm too old, but during the time that we grew up, we didn't have we didn't have all these opportunities that are cropping up. We didn't have internet. We couldn't actually speak to anyone in Harare, or when you're based in Rusape or something like that. You had to travel. So all those things used to eat a
Mm-hmm.
lot of time. This time it looks like you guys have got a lot of time, or we've got a lot of time that we could utilize to do things at a quicker rate. So utilizing all these opportunities really requires somebody who is able to think on their feet. What can I do? Medical school, yes, is critical. Yeah, I mean, it's something that is quite nice to say that I'm a doctor. But then, if you're doing it only to be accepted um, through the door, then I don't think it's the right thing for you to do. If you've got it I mean, if you're doing it simply because you want to treat patients and you've got that passion to do it, then yes, it's a good thing for you to do. But then you manage to find your purpose. And now your purpose is to write books. Now, tell us a little bit more about how you then became an author. Is this something that started from when you were younger, or is it something that just came up during a certain period of time in your life?
Okay. Well, when I was young, I actually went to national competition for science. So I didn't come when I was young. And okay, when in 2018, um, a light sparked in me about being motivating other people and other things. So that's when I started cautiously and intentionally doing it. Before it was just my life was the it was the one recently left school where I was having a very so after that I started articles quotes. I still have them 2018, really funny looking designs. But then I did that in 2018 and I continued doing it even after I went to med school. That was the funny part. And I actually realized it in 2020 after 3 years of doing the same articles and quotes for the last 3 years, 2018, 19, and 20. And then in 2019, I had an idea of writing a book. My friend called Josh, he told me to do a book. So I had no idea what to write about. I tried to write a novel, and
Mhm.
10 pages into the book, I was blank. I can't really the whole story. Like,
Yeah, you're dropping off. I think your network is not
and
is
I
not that.
again, I was
Can you hear me, Taku? Can you hear me?
after that. Yes, I can.
Yeah, your network I think is dropping a bit. It's
You
dropping a bit.
hear me, right?
Yeah, your network is dropping a bit. If you can maybe try and sort it out a little bit. We can hear you, but in bits because the network is
I
dropping
hope.
off. Hello, Taku, can you hear me? Hello, Taku, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, I think this is we always face these problems, especially with internet. Network in Zimbabwe is not that great, and that's something that needs to be sorted as soon as possible because some of the things cannot be done simply because there is a bit of of unprofessionalism when it comes to sorting out the network issue, and this has to be done as soon as possible. Young people like ourselves are the ones that are supposed to be in the forefront of pushing for that to happen. Um, we cannot be in a position where network is an issue like this in the 21st century. These things needs to be sorted. So I'm just hoping that maybe Taku is going to join us as soon as possible. Hopefully, when his network stabilizes, then we'll be able to carry on with the conversation. But like you've had, yes, we're waiting for Taku to come back. Um, when you're talking of purpose, some of these things are very, very important in life when you're making your decisions. Um, and some of the decisions are made not only because your parents have said that you have to do something, or your friends told you to do something, then you decide to do it. It's all about understanding who you are and understanding your purpose as well. So once you ask the questions, to yourself, who am I? What's my purpose? You sit down and think about those things. It will then guide you to becoming whom you want to become. So I tried to sort of add Taku, but I cannot seem to see his picture. Hopefully he's gonna come through and we wouldn't have any more problems. Hello, Taku, can you hear me? Hello, Taku. We can see you now. We can see you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Can you hear me? I was enjoying the conversation until these networks started to play up. Hello, Taku, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Taku? Yeah, I can't hear you. Can someone comment in the comment section if you guys can hear me? Maybe it's my audio. Can someone comment in the comment section? Tell me if you can hear me, please. Because I think we're just having glitches with Taku's internet. Um, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I think Felix said he can hear. Anyone else? Can you hear me? We're trying. I mean, we're losing Taku here. I'm just hoping it's not on our end. It's on his end. Someone say something. Can you hear me? Can you hear your host? Loud and clear. Okay, great. Fantastic. If you can hear me loud and clear, then that's great. So yeah, like I was saying, these are some of the issues that we always face. If we don't fix some of the things. This is the reason why we are trying to work as hard as we can to fix issues to do with network and the internet and so on and so forth. I'll try to bring Taku again and see if it works this time around. Hello, Taku.
Hello.
Yes,
I can hear you now.
Is,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now. You're sticking, but I can hear you nice and clear.
Okay. Okay.
I can hear you nice and clear. You might have a bit of glitches here and there in terms of your picture, but I'm sure I'll be able to hear your voice pretty well. So yeah, we can continue. So we're talking about how you became an author. Taku.
Oh yes. So I started. Yeah.
Yeah, internet email. I think internet is the internet, Taku. I think that's messing up. It's the internet that's messing up. We need to speak to these internet providers. Hello, Taku. Yeah. Can you speak? Maybe we got this video. Maybe we can just use audio. Let's see if it changes anything.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me, Taku?
How is it now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, yes, I can, loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay,
Okay, so
so is it the video?
let's go.
Okay. So as I was saying, I wrote articles and some other things on the blog that I created while I was still in China.
Mhm.
And in May of 2021, I did an online show that was called Back to the Drawing.
Okay, which is the latest one, isn't it? The latest book that you
You can
just.
hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're going off a little bit, but we can hear you.
Yeah. So it was an online show.
Mhm.
It was an online show that I was doing, and after I finished the online show, I was looking at the points that I had prepared for the show, and I thought to myself, I can put this into a book. I can just
Right.
compile it. So while I was making it to a PDF, the information kept coming, and some needed more explaining for them more said. So that's drawing board really came to be.
That's amazing. That's amazing because to be honest, I haven't yet read the book, but like I said, I need to buy a copy. Um, I don't know how it can get to me, but I definitely need to buy a copy of that book because I've seen a lot of people buying it. That means that you've done some amazing work there, and sales are skyrocketing as well, which is good. Which is good. Right. Okay. I just wanted to know, with regards to you writing the book, can you maybe describe yourself as an author? Are you an avid writer? Are you passionate? You just it's just pastime hobby, like you said. It's something that you sort of got into by accident, basically. Um, is it now a hobby, or is it something that you're passionate about? Are we going to have any more books coming our way?
Well, if anything that I have learned in the years is that knowledge that is put on paper or knowledge that is put into writing can
Mm.
survive longer than knowledge spoken.
True.
Though we have the internet to do recordings and other things, at
Mm.
times because they are only imagine we read it. If you're something, imagination for you, you're doing things into your head. When you're reading, you're imagining the entire scenario. If we say
Mm.
that the yardstick was 1 foot tall or it was 3 foot, you are that same length and you're putting it into your own concept. In this book, I
Mm.
gave an example of an elephant. If we talk about an elephant, someone in Africa would probably picture it in the savannah or along the Zambezi River. But then, if we talk about the elephant to someone who's in India, it's going to be a totally different concept altogether. Someone might even picture it dressed up and walking in the streets with some. So it gives you your own room of imagination. That is the power of writing and reading. So if you're asking if I'm going to continue writing, then definitely yes. But I
Mm.
wouldn't define myself as specifically an author. I would put
Okay.
purpose into the books so that everyone else can benefit from it. So yes, I'm going to continue writing.
Fantastic, fantastic. No, that's great. So before the internet, play us dirty, let's talk about the book itself. Back to the drawing board. I've seen you posing with Jar Persia and a lot of other very prominent individuals in Zim that you've managed to sell this book to. Tell us a little bit more about what it is all about. What's back to the drawing board all about?
I about the time like with such a topic. It's only concept in the book about the goals that you have set. I haven't said how you can set. So there is this do every well that part of the year where we start to organize. Maybe I've said already in November. Individual, some of them start in December. We set these goals that we really want to achieve, and when we're setting them, we're so passionate and so excited, like they're about to happen.
Mhm.
And then the next comes, we forget about totally.
Mm.
And the next going to remember goals is the next goals. That problem, it's the one that life seems a bit meaningless because you have a specific direction that you really want to go. Everything that you're doing is impromptu. When you're now going through the year and don't know what you want to achieve during the year, you end up going to functions that have nothing to do with what you want to do, watching movies that have nothing to do with what you want to do, making connections with people who have nothing to do with your goal, the plans that you set. So
Mm.
the drawing board is specifically telling us how we can keep these goals in mind when you have set them. So it talks about how to lead the goals and how to make a workable plan on actually achieving those goals. That's basically what the drawing board talks about. It's a step-by-step guide on how to achieve your goals. That's how I would picture it.
I'm so, I'm so chuffed with how a person who is only 23, such as yourself, is able to articulate these issues the way you do. I think it simply shows maturity, and it shows a lot of intelligence on your part. And these are some of the things that I always tell people, that young people are the ones that are supposed to lead. Um, we, I mean, the older generation is supposed to be trailing behind and giving us all the support that we need. But the young people are the ones that are supposed to be on the forefront and making things change the way we want them to change. Now, I've heard of a lot of people that are so much interested into wanting to see politics change for them to change, but you didn't wait for the political landscape to look like it's changed. You just decided to start doing something, of which is, I mean, that's incredible to me, for a 23-year-old to be doing that. It's 23, isn't it? It's 23 or 22. Sorry, I might be saying the wrong idea.
Turning to next year.
22. Hello,
Yes,
Taku.
20.
Okay. I can't seem to hear you. I think it's a bit of a glitch. But yeah, as young as you are, you've managed to achieve quite a lot, and in a short space of time. And I can't imagine what you can achieve, um, you know, in 5 years, 6 years to come. I'm sure that you achieve some great things. Now, having said that, the book itself is getting quite a lot of interest, or reviews and stuff like that. Um, what's going on in terms of sales? Are we selling this book? Hello, Taku.
Oh yes, we.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. You're asking if we are selling the book.
Yeah, I'm asking how is it selling? How is it selling? How is it being received by the general public?
Okay. As I have mentioned before, I've done a bit of marketing. So I penetrated the market in a specific way that I wanted it to be perceived.
Okay.
Because when you're talking about goals, then you definitely need some of the people who have achieved these goals to be assisting you in pushing this book out.
Mm.
And when you want to do sales, you don't have to be one. You don't have to be doing it alone if you want it to really sell. Two, you have
Mm.
to train a bit about sales and make sure you understand how to do it well. And thirdly, okay, I'm just gonna give a teaser of the next book, which is called "How to Market Yourself Like Gold" or "Market Yourself Like Gold,"
Oh,
something like
nice.
that.
Fantastic.
You have to understand who is the king between a customer and a seller, because
Mhm.
the whole customer is king concept is kind of fuzzy, you know? When someone complains about the price and still buy the product, then you know that you're pricing your product at the right point.
That's true. That's true. I agree. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I
So
agree with you.
so the sales are doing pretty well. I had some sales training from Mr. Zungu. I used to work at MN. So yeah, me at sales.
Mhm. No, that's fantastic to hear that, at least the books are selling. I can attest to that. The books seem to be selling quite a lot, which is fantastic. Shows that you're doing something right. Now, have you ever heard of CSO online at all before?
Well, I have heard about it, but I haven't know much about it.
You need to be
Like I've
marketing. You need to be marketing that platform
seen
for
it
us.
passing, but I haven't really looked at it. Sharing a bit about it.
Fantastic. At least you've heard a bit about it. So you need to go and have a look at it. Yeah, CSO Online is our marketing is our platform actually for is an e-commerce platform basically. And one thing that would like to do is to promote authors from the African continent to also sell their books there. Instead of you getting the books on Amazon, you should be getting some books on CSO Online. Also, I think if we can maybe team up with some publishers on the continent, it'll do us pretty well rather than us ordering stuff from Amazon, across the oceans to get it into Zim. So I think that's one of the drawbacks with our authors now, that they write books and then they're on Amazon. Then you need to get it hard copy. You need to have it shipped back home, of which it's something that is a drawback for most of our authors. So did you hear what I just said there, Taku? Hello, Taku?
And to the local authors.
Mhm.
I would definitely go and check it out.
Yeah, just check it out. We have not yet started, sort of putting some books on there, but I think it's another avenue that we need to explore. Sort of sell your books on there
Uh-huh.
as well. You know, we shouldn't always have to rush to
Uh,
Amazon. We need you guys to be publishing locally.
I think that would be great.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so far, you've been speaking mostly about purpose lately, um, and this is something that maybe grinds to a halt quite a lot of young people because they don't seem to understand what their purpose is. So they sort of go, in various places in search for it or in search for it, and it's so elusive that they don't have time to really think um, about what it is that they really are and what is it that they want to achieve in life. What do you think about having a clear purpose? What does it entail? Um, having the right or being able to identify your purpose?
Well, to be honest, it's not as easy as saying it. Discovering a
Mm,
purpose. Uh,
yes.
mostly we get lost, and it's not because we don't want to find it. We're looking for it every day. Everything that we're doing is trying to search for purpose. We feel like when we get enough money, then it's the right thing that we want to do.
Mm,
But the easy way that Dr. Miles Monroe was saying about purpose was that if you find something that disturbs you, if it's being done wrong, then that is your purpose. That's how Dr. Miles Monroe used to explain it. And then personally, now I looked at it and I said, if there was no school, there was no going to school, how
mm,
would you be spending your days? If you would spend your days trying to figure out how to fly, then definitely go and do aerospace engineering or go and do aviation. So
mm,
remove the aspect of school, the
mm,
conventional school, and think about what you would do without the disturbances, or should I say the hindrance or the colonization of schooling.
mm,
What would you rather do with your life? If you figure out what you do, then definitely that's your purpose. Find a way how to do it with the conventional methods that are around you at that point. If it needs you to go and do teaching in order for you to become the best teacher in public places and other things, then go and study that. Because the the social pressures that we are putting on ourselves are the ones that are making us lose our purpose and put it out of sight.
mm. That's we are playing sort of a catch up game where we have to maybe jump onto someone's wagon for us to be recognized, which isn't
Exactly.
something that we are meant to be doing. We are meant to be doing it the other way around. And something that you've mentioned, which is quite important, in regards to understanding, your calling, but at the same time, you have to start from the opposite direction rather than start with an education first and then try to find your purpose. So we have
Uh-huh.
to find your purpose first and then try to sort of build upon it through your education, whatever. I mean, you're able then to make a choice because you know that what you really are meant to be doing, it needs to be enhanced by a certain type of course or program. So we sort of get into
Uh,
this program not knowing exactly what we want in life and then end up not even pursuing that same thing that we've started. So yeah, it's very important. Now, I just want you to to talk to me a little bit about we always hear you guys being referred to Generation Z, often characterized with gaming, music, and being ever present of messaging, internet, and social networks and stuff like that. This is what people see you as, digitalites they call them, but people that are a little bit antisocial. They're so much into gaming, and all they are interested in is virtual relationships and nothing physical. So, do you think we are actually networking enough, um, or are we creating some meaningful relationships or collaborations and I mean, in terms of business, what do you think? What do you think Generation Z is doing? Is it doing it right in terms of networking and collaborations, or is it just virtual?
okay. Um, I was listening to Simon Sinek, one of the I would say he is one of the best authors I've read his books. So Simon Sinek was talking about how social media has affected people. So personally, what I feel like is that people always have this zeal or this inside want to be recognized. Generation Z, dot-com generation, anytime before, people want to be recognized. Before there was the internet and other things, people would visit shops, people would staying at the shopping center, mixing around, doing a lot of things. But there is this question I always ask myself about leadership. Um, it has to do with history. Hitler was a leader, and so was Abraham Lincoln. Both of them had a strong following, and both of these guys were also revolutionary changes that in this. But we tend to categorize the other everyone on side. But both of them, they were leaders. Both of
Mm.
them were seeking what they thought was right. So what is that they thought was right is recognition people that we but because go to the shop we're having a physical social gathering. We just meet people within uh 15,000 people, and you don't have to meet them all at once. You have this social media platform where you are meeting thousands of people by just posting
Yeah, you're breaking internet again.
one thing, and you end up finding that people are not doing. They might like
Hello, Taku. I think you're breaking. You're breaking a bit. You're breaking a bit. Yeah, we keep on having this problem, guys. Internet is not doing great in Zim. This is something that I really worry about, and as an organization, especially myself and my company, IGG, we need to be able to sort this out because I don't understand why internet should be putting people out like this in this 21st century. This needs to be resolved. Yes, Taku, welcome. Welcome.
hello.
Yes.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just the
Okay.
internet which is
As I
making
was
a mess.
saying, all right, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, people are looking for recognition, and they found the platform where they can do it. And the moment someone posts something and does not get likes on their post, they get stressed and they
Yeah.
start trying to figure out, is there something wrong with the photo? Is there something wrong with me? And by so doing, you end up posting things that are not you so that you get likes. We're getting back to identity crisis, which is biggest problem of generation. So I
Um,
social media has affected us in some good way. Of people at once, and if you want to be true to yourself, you'll be having one of the best moments of your life, because this is one of the best times to live and the worst times to live, because you can get carried away and at the same time you can be in the right path, and the things, the resources, they're just right there at the disposal.
mm, mm, mm. You're very right there. You're very right. It's something that I've been that I've discovered quite a lot. When you're trying to sort of scale up on the social aptitude, it then becomes it's a difficult terrain to sort of scale. Um, I was looking at my social media presence. I don't wanna look at someone else, but just my own um, social media presence. I only started, to sort of push this only recently, and you'd realize that not a lot of people would agree with the content that I'll be posting. And at the end of the day, you start thinking just like what you said. You say that, am I posting wrong things? Am I doing it wrong? Do I need to change anything? Do I need to change the way I speak and stuff like that? But it's it's nothing to do with the way you speak. It's nothing to do with the message that you've sent. I've realized that a lot of people are interested in something that is not necessarily of any use to them. We are living in a world where entertainment is more important than anything else that can save your life or something else that could sort of change your life in a positive way. So where we see music, where we see people scolding each other, and so on and so forth, is the most interesting place for quite a lot of people to sort of, put their likes, because we are social beings. So we need to be recognized in those spaces. At the end of the day, there is nothing wrong with what you be doing. What I can only tell people is that Generation Z, please don't be influenced by some of the things that are happening outside of your forte, because what you know, do what you know. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter that you haven't got like you know good following or anything like that. Build up on your following in the area that you're interested in the area that you know best. Don't try to sort of divert from what you know to try and suit that acceptance level that you want to get to. So yeah, I've been struggling with that as well. But to be honest with you, um, I'm now understanding that it really doesn't mean that whatever you're doing is wrong if you're not getting any likes. It's to do with people. People are very human beings. I should say they're a very funny creature. I can tell you this. In the sense that they they sort of grow into you. If you listen to music, there are some songs that you listen to. If you listen to today, you become so critical about them until you listen to them two more
Uh-huh.
times, three more times, four more times. They sort of grow in you. You start dancing to that tune. You'll be like, wow, this is a beautiful song. I didn't like it when it came out first. It's the same thing
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
how people perceive information or perceive people that are doing something on the internet. You grow in people, but you need consistency. Consistency is what's key. So yeah, that's what I can say with regards to that, Taco. I think.
And how would you feel like you're posting your things on social media? Because
Yeah.
personally, most of my sales have come through social media. Most
Hmm.
of them, either it's
Yeah.
LinkedIn or it's Facebook or Instagram, but most of them that they have been coming from social media. So I wouldn't say it's a bad tool. I think it is pretty useful if you
It
just
is.
want it to be. I was talking to my cousin recently, and I was like,
Yeah.
"How many of you know towers?" I was like, I don't know how true it is, but he sold a dairy for 2,000 bucks.
2,000 bucks. Hello, Taco. Keep on having these glitches, guys. Apologies, guys. Today has been quite bad. I don't know whether it's raining in Zimbabwe or something, but the internet is terrible. Um, it's getting booted out many times, and I do apologize because this is something that shouldn't be happening on live shows. But if the internet is playing up, then we cannot do anything about it. I'll try to bring him back. Yes, Taku,
I have returned.
you've returned.
So as I so as I
Yeah.
was saying,
Mhm.
it's all up to you making up your mind and your social media presence. As I said, you decide the meaning and your event.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The internet is quite bad. The internet is quite bad. Can you hear me, Taku? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, again.
Okay. Cool. So I think one more last question that I just wanted to maybe ask you is I've been looking at education as a tool for growth or attaining knowledge, but then I also look at education or the education system that we're using, particularly in Africa, as an oppressive tool of the minds. Um, and the reason why I'm saying that is, when you're talking of education system in Africa, is is something that will make you grow before you start thinking for yourself. So you grow old to a position where you then wake up when you finish form 5, form 6. You wake up too late, and the horse is bolted. And this education system is doing
Uh-huh.
more harm than good. Even though when you tell me about academics and stuff like that, I'm an academic myself. I'd actually place myself in a bracket of academics. I'm doing my PhD as we speak, but this is something that um,
Wow.
I'm thinking, why am I even bothered doing this? Because at the end of the day, we learn, we get old, and then we start thinking of setting a business once I finish education, especially at university level. I'm going to learn about marketing at university. I'm going to learn about business at university. And then after that, that's when I'm going to set up my business. And really, it's not supposed to happen like that. I like the point that you've given before, saying that, start doing something. When you start doing something, then figure out your purpose. And then after that, then go to find an education to sort of support that. I think that's the best way we're supposed to do it. But then, do you think we need to begin to sort of approach education as a tool um, to become employers than employees? Do you think that's something that we need to be thinking about now?
Well, personally, I don't think everyone can become an employer, but I believe that everyone can become successful.
Hmm.
The education system should not be based on creating employers per se, but it should base on creating minds that are creative,
Hmm.
innovative, and have leadership in mind.
Hmm.
Because when you have those three, they're able to inspire anyone. The people with those three qualities, they're able to inspire anyone. They are able to cause change themselves, and they're able to develop,
Hmm.
which is what we need. So when we look at education system, we have to first understand the the reason why we're doing it, because
Hmm.
it has become a norm that people just have to go to school, and then when they finish, they either find a job or something. But are we deviating from the reason why? The guy I just referred to, Simon Sinek, he talks about why. He wrote a book named Start with Why.
Yeah, I know the book.
when
Yeah, I
when we
once read it.
understand why we're going to school and why we're it's a really
Yeah, it's quite thought provocative, I should say.
so when we understand why we are doing things, it becomes to correct them if we are and it to be correct exactly going to there as schooling.
This internet. You're breaking up, Taku. So what we're gonna do, I'll ask you maybe one last question and then we can close. Maybe what we can do is we can bring you in some other time as well. Hopefully internet will be much better then, and we can just maybe have a great conversation, because this conversation is an amazing conversation. The only problem is this internet glitch. Um, but I've learned a lot actually from yourself, and I'm hoping that next time we'll bring you in. We wouldn't have these issues with the internet, which is something that I really need to figure out as a as a digital solutions person. Um, to sort of really understand what's going on and why are we having these problems, because this shouldn't be happening at all. I'll bring you in. Yes,
Yeah,
Taku.
yeah.
Yeah, we
So you're
having a
telling
lot
me
of.
that you're going to ask a final question.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you.
We're having some internet connection problems.
Yeah, we having internet connection issues. So yeah, do you think young people are now waking up to this reality though? Because I've seen a lot of. I know that somebody would come and say, because there isn't a lot of things for us to do in Africa, or in Zimbabwe, I should say. There is no employment and stuff like that. Employment levels are, unemployment levels are so high. There's nothing to do. So a lot of people have gotten into vending, into entrepreneurship. But if you look at it from my perspective, I would say even if our economy changes, there is no stopping vending. There is no stopping people becoming entrepreneurs. I think it's something that is now rooted in our way of doing things, and it now has become something that people are no longer interested in wanting to get into being employed by in companies and stuff like that, but they need to start their own. Even if it happens that those opportunities of employment present themselves, people will still have an inkling of wanting to become their own bosses, because this is what the economy has taught us over the 10 years or 15 years, I should say. Now, do you think young people are starting to wake up to this reality that um, me being my own boss is the way to go?
Yes. I totally agree. Most of the young should I, or the young people are realizing that, and from the survey that I've taken, almost everyone that I've asked, they're saying, "I want to start my own business. I want to start my own business." But there is this question of consistency that you spoke of, and being able to gauge the actual amount of effort that is needed in order to do that. Going to have a group of entrepreneurs there, but we're going to have a position
Yeah, you gone silent now, Taku. Okay. Hello, Taku. Hello, Taku. Can you hear me?
So, as I was saying,
Yeah.
yes, yes, we're going to have a lot of people coming into this entrepreneurial business, but then, as has been repeatedly in the history, we're going to have a majority and a minority separation where most of the people are going to change, but millionaires are going to increase. That's a given. Billionaires are going to increase even as the value of money continues to drop, but we're going to experience a high level of millionaires because of this thing. So I believe they are waking up to it, and the more these young people continue to look for knowledge and how these other people have done it, the likes of the great guys, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, the ones who have built big enterprises from literally small beginnings. I think there is a chance a lot of people are going to actually make it.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for responding to that because definitely I agree with you 100% there because there is a chance that there's going to be a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires in Africa as soon as our economies are getting better. Because what it is now, with this economic situation being upside down, for me, it's a period of learning for a lot of people. And what we are learning, or the lessons that we are learning, are going to be very,
Uh
very
huh.
useful in the near future. You know, they're going to be very useful in the near future. The moment that the
Yes.
economy changes, you're going to see a lot of millionaires coming out of Zimbabwe because of the period of them learning in these hard times. Once that one is over, then I can tell you that definitely, definitely, we are going to have lots of people that are going to be successful. But at
And
the
there
time,
is
that is, yeah, go on, go on.
this. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you,
Okay. There is
Taku.
this statement that was said. Do you think that the people in the United States became millionaires because of the economy? Because if it was because of the economy, everyone in the United States would be a millionaire. So economy, you have to make it for yourself.
Mm, mm, that's a pretty good statement there. That's a pretty good statement. I think it's all about it goes back to the drawing board. It's all about
In
consistency.
order to be millionaire, and some of them are the issue that for information
Mhm.
researching and yes.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's been great having you, Taku. I think we're just having this internet glitch, but I would love to have you back here some other time, if you don't mind. That is, um, once we sort the internet out, you should come here and then we can
That
have
would be great. I would love that too.
a very good chat. I enjoyed our chats. If it wasn't for this internet, I think we um, could have been talking something else right now. But we did not manage to sort of finish some of the questions that we wanted to ask you tonight. It's just cut short because of the internet issue, connectivity issues. But well, thank you so much, Taku, and I'm just wishing you all the best in your venture as an author, and also I hope that the sales are going to improve. They're going to increase. Like I said, I'm gonna keep my promise. I'm definitely gonna buy that book. Um, and I'll gift it to someone else because I wouldn't be able to receive it here anyway. But I'll give it to someone else. So if you can get someone who is very much interested in that book and they're saying, I can't even afford it, then do let me know, and I'll try to sort of buy it for them, just on your behalf. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you to the audience as
Honor
well.
you and this is quite eh?
That's awesome, Taku. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for supporting us always. We do appreciate you. Hope that next time it'll be no glitches. Have a very good night, Taku. Let's continue the conversation. Thank you so much.